Hello and welcome to Hero Mode Audio Chronicles, episode 38. I'm your host, Chris Hunt. With me again is Leland Stone.
Hello.
So, there's free games on the go. Might as well pick right up, talk a bit about that.
Oh yeah,
But they're kind of shitty free games in my opinion.
years and years after Sony's data breach,
Well, yeah, like, and I totally forgot about
they
it.
finally say, okay, well here you can have something.
And such a, I think, real, like, small fucking show of gratitude, or a show of, like, you know.
Well, we went down through the list. Everything that's been listed there has been already given out for free.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, like
except for like 2. So I mean, you're really limited to get Rain or Invisibles.
Yeah, because I'm willing to bet, like, if you're on PlayStation Network and you were given enough of a fuck to fill the form out, you probably had PlayStation Plus, and you probably are after having most of these games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like a pretty weak showing to show, like, for a big fuck up like a data breach like that.
And they do give them out for PS3, PS Vita, and PSP. I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah, all those people rocking their Vitas and PSPs.
Right. I still have a PSP.
I got one too, but
I mean, I don't even know where it is.
Exactly. Not too many people do. It's like, I was talking to a guy at work about that. It's like, the handheld is such a weird thing now for these, like, big game developers to try and get into. Because mobile phones, like...
Yeah, you can't do... I don't think handhelds are a viable option for anyone these days. Because the mobile is going to do it.
Nintendo still
and it's
does
going to
a
have
decent
more
job.
option.
Yeah. But
they have it specifically tied to the system.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you get your you get your mobile console with the Wii U controller.
Yeah.
But it's
not even
it's
that.
an extension.
I mean, like the 3DS, the 2DS.
I never played 3DS.
See, I did, and I didn't think it was actually doing too well. Like, I thought it was a bit of a flop, but we're looking up the stats the other day, and it's like, no, yeah, performing okay. But I think it's a Nintendo thing, because no one seems to give a fuck about the PSP, but people still play Nintendo's handhelds, and I think it really has to do with the game library.
I actually seen something online the other day. I never actually went into the article or whatever. Just it was just a headline that Wii U's were sold out across Japan.
Really?
Like everywhere were sold out. So it's like, what?
Yeah, like that surprised me, because I've really seen the Wii U as a failure. Like,
yeah, it was Wii U sold out across Japan. I'm just like, well, okay.
Madness, because like they've got a new system on the way. Like whatever it is now.
Yeah.
It might not even be a real name, because like I remember when the Wii was called the Revolution.
Really?
Yeah. When everyone called Nintendo Revolution, and then it was the Wii. And everyone was like, "It's called what?" Wii. But then it stuck, and it was a fucking smash hit. And I remember at the time, that was the only console on the market that the company was making money from the sale of the unit. Because I remember both Microsoft and Sony were actually taking losses per unit.
Really?
Yeah, for cost to make and versus sale.
And they were in the plus.
Yeah, and like heavily in the plus compared. Like, big profit margin on the box. But Sony and Microsoft basically lean on the software more so for revenue. Which is really the smart way, because it doesn't fucking matter what system you got. If you got no good games on it, it ain't worth shit.
What do you think about the upgradable Xbox One?
Upgradable? I don't know if I know that.
I didn't actually see much on that article either, but they were talking about how they wanted to make the Xbox One upgradable, and the picture that was associated with it was the
Sega.
It was the fucking
the
Genesis,
exactly,
right, like slammed on top of an Xbox One.
Yeah, and that they should really look at that and realize, no, that's a bad fucking idea. You don't want to do that. Like, I mean, it's interesting to the fact that, like, you know, Sony tried to say that their systems are generation proof, where they're going for a longer cycle. Like, they're planning on almost 10-year loops. The average used to be 5. You know, 5 years for a cycle. And Nintendo are still on it. They're still doing 5-year loops. But I think the fuck up is that game development takes way longer now. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you were to go back and look at how long it took to make, you know, fucking Balloon Fight, or, you know, compared to, like, you know, the average, because this is the thing, like, to think about the average game for most of these consoles, you're really talking about a triple A development. Like, for a disc title, that's a heavy fucking investment on people and time and resources, and not everyone sees it come back.
And
that's why
that's a tight window to try to have a AAA create
5 years, man. You're only going to manage one or two. Like, if that, some of them are taking even longer.
I've noticed that lately. Well, I suppose I could say lately only for the fact that I keep Uncharted 4 in mind because Uncharted 4 got delayed again.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming out March 10th now, and first it was supposed to be first it was supposed to be out in March, then it was supposed to be out in April. Now it's going to be May 10th. So they keep pushing it off, but they say it's going to be worth it. The delay, but delays seem to be a fucking normal thing now.
Yeah, it is.
Delays are like, it's a game coming out. Oh, it's going to be delayed.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, because fucking making a game is retarded. Like, there's so much shit that can go wrong, and there's so many moving parts for those big games. Like I've worked on really small games, and those are even fucked. Like, the amount of, coordination that needs to go in to make it happen properly is madness. So, you're talking like a AAA title, hundreds and hundreds of people. People don't even know each other working on the same game, right? But maybe even doing the same fucking thing. Well, actually, you know what? Even some of the stuff I'm working on now, I'm working on a game where I'm dealing with 3 studios, not directly. We're all doing similar things, but I'm not talking to anybody. Like, you know what I mean? I'm seeing their work, but I'm not talking to them. So, you can imagine what something like fucking The Witcher went through to get made.
Oh my god.
That's a really great example. That's a fucking monumental effort.
It is. And but see, that one shows it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if they said, Witcher's delayed, even if it got delayed, it came out a fucking deadly game in itself, start to finish. It's
yeah, similar to games like GTA,
and the expansions that they're putting out with it
are free. Yeah,
are free. Not only free, but they're getting high ratings.
They're not just pumping out garbage.
Yeah,
fill it out.
Like the new one. I don't know if it's out now or if it's coming. Well, it's coming out soon. Blood and Wine. I seen an article online. People were fucking raving about it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, and what was the gap between Fallout is an interesting one to look at because they do paid upgrade, paid expansion.
I actually seen they're making a mod right now for Fallout to put new game modes in New Vegas. Was it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. That's strange because that's is that 2 games old?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Because was Fallout.
It came after 3. So
yeah, I'm trying to remember what the new one is. Is it right now new one 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4.
So yeah, you had Fallout 3, then you had New Vegas. There was another one though, wasn't there?
I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember because
and then 4, but I don't know. I never played 4.
No, I haven't either.
I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it.
I've seen I remember I was over to Johnny's and he was playing it and he showed me a lot of stuff and it's cool. I like the idea of building your own compound and stuff like that. And there was people doing videos on tricks to build your compound differently.
Oh yeah, because you can make your own town in that one.
Yeah, and there was one thing I seen. It was pretty cool. They tricked the system a bit to have floating things to make things float. So it would be you place one object and you attach shit to it, and it's if you attach something and then attach something to that attachment, but then remove the first thing, the last one is still left there.
Oh.
So people were making floating turrets and stuff all around their base, and so you can still just bomb around. There's everything near, right?
Oh wow.
Oh, and lights, same thing. Hooking up because lights is a big thing. I think I don't know if it's Minecraft, where darkness spawns enemies or anything, but having lights seemed to be an important factor. And growing food and shit it. On top of the fact that I like how in Fallout 3, all you wanted to get right away was power armor. And they really embraced that in 4, where power armor is a main part of the game, hardcore. It's your truck that you don't get rid of.
Oh.
It's a consistent thing that you work on. You don't lose it. It's not just equip new armor.
Oh, okay. Well, see, if you're going to put something like that in, that's the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. But what I've also found funny, I remember there was a picture floating around for a while, and it was a Pornhub comment, and I thought it was fucking amazing. So, well, obviously, yeah, Pornhub comments, they had the video and stuff locked out, but it shows, how do you power your suit in Fallout 4? And there's a reply, fusion cores, bro.
I got something to say about Pornhub, but we'll get to that after.
yeah. But yeah, geez, I can't even remember how we would start talking about Fallout. Or we fucking free games and shit.
Yeah, just talking about expansions for games. That one's got a mod coming, so.
And speaking of games too, Lion's Head, Gonzo.
Yeah, Fable Legends cancelled.
Well, I mean, the big thing too was like Fable was always this huge promise. Like I remember when the first one came out, it was so hyped, so oversold that it was like this is the next fucking thing in gaming, and it really wasn't. Like it really wasn't anything special.
I never played Fallout Fable when it first came out. I played it once the first expansion came out for it.
Yeah.
So I bought it afterwards, and it already had like the extra stages at the end, the extra levels, all that stuff attached to it. So I didn't mind it so much, but I can see where it failed when that stuff wasn't in it.
And I had Fable 3 for free on Xbox, and I tried playing it for a bit, and I just was not my game. Just couldn't get into it.
So the Fable games are actually, I think, Zoe's favorite games. It's just that the promise, right? It's just there's a new one coming out. Oh, when?
Yeah.
When?
Why is it going to be this great thing? But it happens too with like what's his name, Peter Molyneux. He used to be the head, like the Lion's Head kind of Microsoft guy. I think I'm getting this right now, but he was the guy then and went and did Cube. What was it the name of it? I don't know if you heard about it. It was this weird game where it was like a worldwide cooperative thing where everybody would be on the same cube. Like you log in and play, and it'd be just a giant cube, and you just tap on it, and you break off a little bit, like break a little square. So you could like zoom out, you see squares disappear, and someone else is also breaking through it. And the overall goal is like to get to the center collectively over across the entire world. So they would strip off a layer, and there's another layer, and it keeps... And it was like thousands of layers. And whoever broke the last one would get the special Like thing in the ending, and no one else would see it.
Really?
So one person was going to get it. And,
my god.
It happened, and pretty sure it was kind of a lame discovery. It was about basically like...
Break the last block. Oh, the cake is a lie. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all.
Well, because he's been talking about like he was trying to say that their plan was to make a bunch of these other games, and all these games were going to yield lessons and design theory and shit to make this one super game. Right? But that's kind of bullshit as far as I can tell, because I've only heard of Cube. There probably has been another game since, like, in that vein of the idea. The only one
I've never heard of Cube, I mean...
Yeah, well, and to me, there was a few people into it at work, so to me it seemed a little bit more notorious than it probably actually was. But I thought it was an interesting idea to have this giant mystery box that the whole world is chipping away at. And you upgrade and buy shit, like, so you get, like, currency for breaking. You could eventually spend your currency to get a bigger thing, so you break 2 blocks at a time. Or, like...
Oh my god.
Or you could... I don't even remember what it went. I think it was just like bigger and faster or whatever. Like, interesting idea. I think more of an experiment than a game. You know? Yeah. Like, because there wasn't really any objective other than that whole. Everyone knows that there's one thing in the center. It's like a big, almost like a fucking treasure hunt. You know what I mean? But everyone's digging to the same point.
Yeah, it's just like everyone knows where the X is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just who can get there first.
So, I don't know. Like, and I never give a fuck about Fable, so I'm not hurting for Lion's Head. Lion's Head going away.
No, I mean, I played the first Fable. I played a little bit of the second one, and that was it. I never played after that.
No, and I remember hearing a lot of bad stuff about 3. And when I tried to play it, I seen, like, okay, yeah, this is kind of retarded. Like, the weird menu system was stupid. Like,
yeah?
Yeah, because the way the menu worked, you'd pause the game, and instead of actually having like a menu, you'd be in a room, and there'd be a bunch of doors, and the doors were the option, so you had to walk through doors to select stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That already sounds like a pain in the ass.
Exactly. But to me it was very like, it's like a high level idea that like sounded fucking cool on paper, and then they just went with it, and not realizing like this is very kind of fucking annoying mechanic.
It's
like,
a pain in the ass.
Just no one wants to do that.
Who wants to fucking walk in through doors all
It's like, how if you have to solve a puzzle every time you save? Like, yeah, that sounds cool. Except it totally stupid and sucks in a game. So, yeah. Oh, and talking about last time on the show, now I'm post-Sabbath.
Post-Sabbath, yeah.
And
you still had more trouble when you went up there?
Yeah, it wasn't over. Like, at the time, it still was not fucking sorted. got up there, got in there. My name's not on the list.
No tickets available for
Nothing
you.
there. No, they didn't. They're basically like, and I'll just start telling them the issue. Like, this has been a huge ordeal. Like, and I was like, there's supposed to be whatever thing here. And I took the original tickets.
Just to prove.
Yeah, just to show, like, and I think it was a good thing that I did, because there was like a manager that came and talking to her, and I gave her tickets, told her everything. And she's like, don't worry, there's always somebody.
There's always one.
Yeah. She's like, there's always one deal, like, you know, one kind of case to deal with. And it did work out, but fuck was I stressed, like, because basically they said, yeah, just go on in, and she'll go see what she do, come back, right? So I'm down in the VIP room again, same room as before, like, the same place where it fucking...
Deja vu.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like going to a club that you've been at before, but, like, still uneasy because it's like, this place doesn't exist for very long. Right? And I don't know if I'm going to get fucking hauled out of it.
The last time I was here, this was a trick.
Exactly, which is still kind of had that weird air because
everything was fucking up.
Yeah, so I'm like, fuck this. So I'm there, like, just stood up by the bar downstairs, like, just fucking stressed to death, like, worried. But, like, almost nonsensically, because I felt like it was going to work out. But just after everything, I just felt like, no, there's something still fucked up here. Like, this is not cool. But then she showed up, had the right ticket. She actually had ticket seat 14, which was what got sorted over the phone with all the ordeal. And it's funny, I've tried to take... I also took the old tickets because they had drink tickets in them.
Oh.
Right? But after that, when I gave it to her and everything, I was like, I don't give a fuck about anything as long as I get to stay here. And it wouldn't have worked anyway, actually, I found out after.
No?
No, because the tickets we had in the first run were blue, and the tickets this time were yellow.
Oh.
So I think they kind of knew that.
Still, that would have been deadly.
Yeah, now, I mean, you can still buy at the bar, so fucking use me tickets and buy a few more drinks.
And you said at first you were supposed to be a couple seats away from Brent and Tani when you went up here, and what was it? It was you, Isle, Brent.
Yeah, exactly. It worked out even better than I thought because, yeah, originally 10 seats apart down in the mass of people. Then what I thought was going to be 3 seats apart ended up being just across the aisle. Which was perfect because we had this big open space there that we could go down right to the front of the stage.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Now, not the whole time because security was constantly going and pulling people back.
But like a certain song comes.
Oh, well,
we're going down there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as soon as they started to hit the encore point, we're just like...
Let's go.
And even before, so we're kind of creeping up and creeping back and getting security to come and pull you back.
And the sound check was sick.
Oh, yeah. That I'll never forget. Because it was like, you're talking 30 or 40 people, and like, first it was just like their drummer come out and was testing the drums and doing some shit. And then fucking Geezer comes out, and we're like, fucking... And then Tony comes out, Tony Almini starts playing fucking Symptom of the Universe. And then Ozzy comes out and they start playing Iron Man. And I was fucking losing it. Like, and not even, I was just fucking enamored, just like, yeah. And it was so cool because like the guy said, like, the reason we took your phones is because this is for you guys, not to fucking share with...
Oh yeah, because you had to put your phone in like an envelope before you even went in there.
Yeah, so as soon as we go in, yeah, they tell you. And that was the funny thing, because after the ticket ordeal, I went down to that point.
Yeah.
And there's no envelope for me. So Mrs. comes down, she's like, yeah, there's no envelope for Curtis, you have to make one up. So they just fucking got a Sharpie and fucking wrote
Curtis!
Yeah. And it was mine's the only one with this fucking big black Sharpie name on it.
I know what phone's mine. That one.
Yeah. But man, it was such a trip seeing him like that close and just seeing him right there. As I can show you videos and shit after. But Brent was saying he regretted not like filming a whole song. And I said, don't even worry about it, man. I was like, then you look around, like this place is filled with people doing that. And then as soon as we got home, I said, search Black Sabbath Rexall on YouTube. Sure enough.
A million hits.
Yeah, well,
a million videos.
Because like there's Iron Man, there's fucking... And it's funny, I'm pretty sure you can pick me out. Because if you look at the bottom right on a couple of them, you'll see someone jumping double time.
And it's you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But fucking amazing show. Never forget that. Fucking amazing. Just a trip. And like when it was over, man, it was every time I've been to a show, when it's over, it feels like I'm walking out of a war zone. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. Like
well, you're all just fucking shell shocked almost.
Yeah, just like, and especially like whenever they do like places filled with smoke and there's like they drop all this confetti and stuff at the end. So I'm just walking out and there's just smoke and shit everywhere. Like, people wandering. It feels like a war zone. But, man, I loved it.
No doubt.
And another event that's been happening lately, I don't know if you caught the results of the last UFC.
Oh, the chokeout?
Yeah.
I never actually caught the results until today. I seen they were talking about how UFC 2 is coming out, and on the cover of UFC 2 is Rousey and McGregor.
It's hilarious, man. The curse is real. Like, I don't know if you heard that before. Like,
no.
There's a curse, EA curse. Now that like every like star that's been on an EA game, their career is fucked up
Right after,
or right at the point. Like. And it never fails, man. Like, it's getting to the point now.
Yeah, because that comes out, what, tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
And the UFC was Saturday?
Yeah, exactly. And, no, I mean, McGregor never actually lost his belt, but he got his ass beat. And,
yeah, but I mean, this is supposed to be, like, the unstoppable, like, what they call him, the, they had a nickname or something put on him? I can't remember what it was now.
I'm not sure. I haven't been following like I used to. And that's like, I went to watch it that night, and I fell asleep during the prelims. Then
I guess the prelims weren't that good.
They're alright, but I just fucking tired, and it comes on late here compared to the rest of the world.
True. I mean, UFC doesn't start till what, 10:30 here?
11:30.
11:30. Yeah.
Yeah, prelims were 10:30. Fuck, getting old, can't stay up for fucking UFC. But yeah, and then it was a shocker to look up the results because I was like expecting the opposite and then I searched and watched the highlight videos. I was like, holy fuck,
choked out.
And fucking, yeah, so Holly Holm got choked out, and so did McGregor, right? Two huge upsets. But, yeah, the curse of EA continues. It's actually to the point now, I'm pretty sure, like, football players, basketball players refuse.
Don't put me on the cover.
Yeah, like, if they get offered, they're like, nope, fuck that.
Jesus, I mean, if it's been that consistent, I mean, even if it only happened a couple times, that's enough.
Yeah, but it's creepy, man.
But, like, both of them on the cover, both lost their, were taken down, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Because he never lost his belt, but he got taken out.
Yeah, he tried to push it. I think it was a poor decision, honestly. Like, you're supposed to be 140. There's a weight class for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, going up 30 pounds, I think that's what it is, because I think that was 170, and he's 145.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's a fucking big difference, man. You're talking, like, a fighter. Right? There's not like extra shit. They're just muscle and mean. Like,
it's true.
Right? And especially you're talking fucking Nate Diaz. One of the meanest motherfuckers that you're gonna deal with in the octagon. Like, just bitch slapping them and fucking throwing them around and talking shit. Like.
So I mean, how was the fight? I mean, I know what happened at the end, but I didn't know how the actual fight itself went. Like, did he just kind of catch him and fucking get taken out, or was Diaz just controlling?
From what I've seen on the last of the highlight, now I don't know about the earlier part of the fight. I think from what I heard, it did kind of go even in the first part. Like, McGregor was getting good strikes through, but the weight difference mattered because he was getting strikes through, but not really doing the kind of damage that he's used to doing, right? Because hitting smaller guys. And it really, like, when it kind of came to the point where he was getting beat down, because, like, Diaz had the reach advantage, and he really had fucking crisp boxing. Like, was just getting him, lighting him up. And then, so, yeah, he's lighting him up on the feet, and then they go for the takedown, go to the ground, get out of it, right? But then his jiu-jitsu fucking kicks in, and he just bullies him on the ground. Like, just wasn't even fit. Like, once he went to take him down, it went even worse. Like, he was starting to lose the fight, and he just went fucking nosedive as soon as he tried to take it to the ground.
Wow.
Like, didn't look fair, honestly, at the end. It looked like just getting bullied. And Miesha Tate surprised me, but when I thought about it, it wasn't that surprising. Because she almost got Rousey the same way. Right? That was, like, she cranked Rousey, and Rousey got her off. But Holm couldn't get her off. Like... And she sunk that in tight. So to me now, the women's division is getting more interesting. And I'm looking at it like Holm is the fucking striker. Like, she's the one that's going to knock you out. And Miesha Tate's going to choke you out. And Rousey's got your arms if she can get a hold of you. Because that was the whole problem. Like, she couldn't get a hold of Holly Holm, right? In her fight. She just was, every time she, like, shoot for her, she fucks basically instant transmission out of the way,
Teleport.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen, even, like, there was a point where she fucking shot on her and just fucking crashes into the side of the cage, right? And just Holmes, like, way over here now. Right? Just outclassed with the foot movement and stuff, because the thing is, Rousey is a judo superstar. Like, judo and jiu-jitsu is her bread and butter. She was really getting in, like, to like striking, and did decent with a few people. But when she went up against Holmes, she's talking about taking on a fucking, like, multi-gold medal kickboxer level chick, right? Like, who, and what she did to her, she did to people before. Like, she knew what was going down. She lined her up. So it's going to be interesting, because I still think Rousey got Tate's number. If they fight
was
again.
was that a title fight?
Rousey and Tate?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the...
No, the...
Holly Holm and Tate?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Misha Tate's now the champion. So it's interesting, because I don't know if they're going to go with Holm versus Rousey rematch to see who goes after the belt again, or if they're going to give it a rubber match, like try and get her belt back. But I'm thinking that they're going to give... they're going to make Holm and Rousey 2, and then the winner's going to go on. Because they didn't give Rousey the rubber match for Holm, right?
Okay.
So, it's getting interesting. Honestly, the women's division is really fucking getting good. And I'm trying to catch up with the other divisions now, because I don't even know who fucking heavyweight or light heavy is now.
I honestly...
Oh, John Jones, probably. Like
I haven't fucking watched UFC in years. Like, the last time I watched it, there was no women's division.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And honestly, it's one of the best things going on in it right now. But you got, like, Conor McGregor's a great guy, too. Like, even though, you know, he went up and got beat down, he did it like a fucking gentleman. Like, he went out like champion. You know, he didn't, talk a lot of shit beforehand, but that's the game. Like, That's what they do. Same thing with Nate Diaz, right? Like, he's a master talking shit. But just what I love, too, just such a punk. Like, when he won, it was hilarious. He's like, something like, I'm the top motherfucker in this division. And I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast clip. I never caught it from the episodes. But it was him and Brendan Schaub talking about Nate Diaz, like, on the mic after fights. And Joe Rogan was saying, like, when they gave him the mic, he said, they're screaming in my ear. Cut him off, take the mic away, like, don't... And he was
don't let him talk to him. Don't no.
Yeah, and he was just like, nope, you're gonna have to fire me. And that's why I love that guy.
They're not gonna fire Joe Rogan.
Exactly. Like, that guy is like I'm pissed when I watch a UFC and he's not part of the commentary. I don't like watching.
That happens?
Oh yeah, whenever they do fight nights, usually it's Kenny Florian and I forget the other guy, but they save Goldberg and Joe for the paid ones.
Oh, okay.
But you know what's funny about that? When you watch fight nights, Joe Rogan does a podcast fight companion live.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so you can actually tune into that while the fight's going on and hear his commentary still. Nice. Which is the way to go, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he knows the game. Like he understands what's going on, and I don't know how the fuck he researches all these fighters so well. Like, even in the prelims, he's talking about these guys I've never fucking heard of or seen before, and well, I mean, now I'm so edited anyway, but talking about this guy's record in this organization coming up and how this is his kind of style versus this guy. I was like, how do you find out about all these guys? How does he know about, like, fucking almost everyone who steps in there? Like...
Well, I suppose he has time to research up on it. He knows he's going to have to do a commentary on these people. So I mean, you got to be up with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's true enough. If your job is talking about fighters,
right? There's new fighters coming in. Well, what can they do? So homework.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna try and keep up with it now, because I do miss, like, watching a lot of the fights. But I don't know. There's no one. Well, McGregor's interesting now because I like watching him. But I don't know.
UFC. It's been too long. I don't even know if I'd want to fucking get back into watching it.
Well, to me, it was like
because I very much doubt that. I don't even say half the fighters that I was familiar.
Do you remember with?
Yeah, none of them are there.
Yeah, no, when I goes back to it now, it's very few that I recognize, and it's funny because a lot of them are kind of half retired, and other ones are gone to Bellator. Which is funny. Yeah, which is also funny. There was a Bellator event that night too, and it was super shit. Their two main events were garbage. super garbage. like,
God, I ain't watching the.
oh yeah, like this was terrible. Like they have good fights, but it's not the guys. It's not the main event guys that are usually the most entertaining fight, because they're what they do now. It seems to me, Bellator takes the guys who are past their prime, can't fucking go in UFC anymore, but still are huge names like Rampage Jackson. That's where he is.
Oh, okay.
You know Rampage.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone knows Rampage. But he can't take on the top tier in that weight class in UFC anymore. He'll get smoked. So, he goes in Bellator and is fighting dudes. And, you know, the fights aren't as good because these guys are past their prime. And speaking of which, the main event for this fucking event was Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock.
What?
Yeah, like, you're talking UFC 1 guys.
The boys are like, what, in their 60s?
Yeah, and it was a shit fight. Like, it was over in no time. Basically, it started out, the boys, you know, started exchanging, lock up a bit. Hoist knees Shamrock in the groin, and he doesn't react right away, because you know how that works. And then he fucking buckles away, but right before he does, he gets another knee that's a legal knee. Now, I don't know how the ref missed the first one, but he seen the second one, and then Shamrock turning away like he got nut shot, but it didn't look like an illegal blow. So Shamrock's trying to be like, you know, low blow, and he gets taken out. Gets taken down, and fucking ground pound, called fight, and it's over.
Oh, wow.
In no time flat. And then Shamrock loses his shit, and he's like, you fucking did it on purpose. But then, you know, he calms down, regains composure. And the first replay that they showed were like, was it a low blow? And they showed the second knee to the stomach. It wasn't a low blow. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Shamrock's full of shit. And then shortly they go back further and see the low blow knee, and they're like, oh. And then, so then they ask Hoist about it in the post fight, and he's like, you know, we come from the generation where anything goes. Like, he's like, you know, when we fought like so many times. Like, we didn't mention that, but I mean, they did. Like, they fought when UFC was a tournament. Like, they had to win 4 fights.
Yeah,
to
like,
take the belt.
I won this round, waiting for the next contender.
Yeah, and like that's not even legal now. Like, they won't let people fight twice in the same night. So, but yeah, basically, groin shots used to be legal too. Like, you could just fucking wail on someone in the junk. So he was just like, eh.
So it was like a straight groin shot.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
straight
wow.
knee, straight to the groin.
Oh, Jesus.
But and then the co-main event was. Did you watch that documentary on like street fighting? I can't remember what it was called now, but it's like Dog Fight or something.
No.
Well, there's a guy in that Dada 5000. He used to be like a street fight promoter. So like, it was him and Kimbo Slice. So you remember Kimbo Slice being the Street Fighter super guy, when Dada 5000 was similar. So he was a street fight guy, and then when you watch the documentary about him, it's like he used to be a street fighter, then he stops because like he fucks people up pretty bad, so nobody really wants to fight him. And then you're talking about like street fights, so there's no one's got health insurance or anything. Like,
and when you get fucked up, you're fucked up.
Yeah, like you're not going to work and there's nothing being done about it.
Your wife got to sew you up.
Exactly. So, but then he goes on to like, so he's a promoter for street fights, and then he eventually at the end of the movie starts to be like, people are like, you know, if you really want to be a fighter, like start training, like go for the real deal. And he
go
finally,
big or go home.
Yeah, and he finally starts to go for it. But did you ever, like, when it got to the match, like, it ended in the 3rd round, and it was one of the most shit-looking, boring fucking 3rd rounds I've ever seen. The boys were beat, like, dead. Like, no cardio left at all. Like, literally just standing there, like, looking at each other, like, hands down.
Oh, that's the worst.
And, like, Kimbo's trying to throw a few punches, but they're like, fucking, you know, taps on the head.
Patty cake.
Yeah. But he puts down Dada 5000. He fucking hits him a couple times, and basically he like stumbles away, like walks away.
Yeah.
And then kind of like falls to his knees and falls over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it looked more like he got tired more
so
than he got knocked out.
he was gassed.
Totally. Like
he just walked away on empty.
Totally. And then honestly, they called the fight, and then Kimbo fucking drops. Like, you know? So it was literally like they didn't like get knocked out or anything so much as they got beat the fuck out. Just too tired to fucking fight anymore.
Wow.
So that's what I'm talking about. Like, Bellator is not the cream of the crop. It is very much the second tier show.
Second tier?
Yeah, well, because everything else falls apart. Like, there's been a bunch that tried, like Bodog. That was a fucking joke too.
I never heard of that.
What a shit fucking organization, man. Terrible fighters. Like, I remember watching one. Now, I mean, it's funny to say, like, terrible fighters. Like, these guys are still mixed martial artists. Kick shit out of me. But
I'll ruin you in a second.
Right, but
in regards to the entertainment for the show,
when you're talking about
fighting, like, yeah,
comparing it to UFC, you know. But this guy, I'll never forget. Like, he had one guy. Like, the guy was like face down, arms out, legs out, sprawled out, flat on the fucking floor, and this guy's got his back, and the guy's not resisting. And he fucking takes him in a rear naked choke. He can't fucking choke him. Like, he just can't do it. Like, he's just doing it wrong or something, but he can't choke the guy with no resistance.
What?
Exactly. I couldn't believe it.
What? How is that possible?
I know. And then you're talking about, like, a professional fighter, and he can't choke a guy who's not resisting him. So that was Bodog. That's gone now. Like, it only...
What a fucking name.
It don't get much worse because, like, I think if you go any further down the line, you get down to So You Want to Fight.
Oh my god!
Remember that?
Briefly.
And that was a funny event too, man. I liked watching that because there was some cool, funny stuff that happens.
So you want to fight?
And you get these guys that think they're fucking, you know, GSP, and they're just like some middle-aged, like...
Is GSP still on?
I don't think, like... From what I could tell, I don't think Dana White wants him to come back. Because I don't think he wants him to, like, tarnish his legacy.
Because he never lost, did he?
He never lost, technically.
But, like at the end, I mean, like...
No. Like, he won... His last fight that I seen was Johnny Hendricks. But Hendricks beat the fuck out of him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, he lost that fight. But it went to decision.
Oh.
And he got it. And, I mean, they always do say when it goes to decision, to be the champion, you gotta beat the champion. Like... You got to end it to be sure. But even I think GSP didn't think that the decision was right.
Oh, okay.
And that was his last fight.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Like, I'd love to see him come back because he's obviously like fucking one of everybody's top fighters, and puts on a show, man. Like, I'll never forget like some of his fights. Like when his second fight with Matt Serra, like what a beatdown. First time I ever seen a fight end while someone was like holding them down, just like two hands on their back and just driving knees into their ribs. Like, I've never seen a fight end like that. And then, because what it is when GSP gets pissed, you see some shit. Like, and it doesn't happen very often. You got to be a special kind of guy to piss GSP off. So, and Matt Serra did that.
And Sarah just talked shit, like...
Yep.
Steady shit, like, weeks and months leading up to the event. He just... Constant shit.
Yep. And then...
He's probably in the ring, just fucking spitting shit at him like mad.
I'd say. But that's the thing, you don't want to piss GSP off, because he's not one of those guys that gets off his game when he gets mad. He's one of those guys that's gonna just...
Yeah, you're not gonna psych him out, you're just gonna make him mad, and...
He's gonna hit you harder. And another one, Koscheck, when he was with the...
Oh, Jesus.
He had the fucking... the Ultimate Fighter season with him. That was hilarious. Like, there's another point I'll never forget. I thought he was just a mastermind. Like, he sat down in the room, and he was like... He started thinking, and you just see, like, this guy is like a strategist. He knows what he's doing. And he outpicked Koscheck because he's like, I want this guy and I want this guy. So he said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write my list on my clipboard, and I'm going to put these guys on top. And he's going to hold it like that, so that Koscheck can see it.
Nice.
And basically, because Koscheck won first pick from like coin toss or something. And as soon as he picked Buddy, like that GSP had wrote on the clipboard, he looks over and takes a clipboard and fucking flings it across the room. It's just like, alright, you.
So he got him.
He got his guy from just fucking outthinking Koscheck and just fucking him over. But Koscheck was being a dick to him the whole season. Fucking when it came fight time, holy shit! Like put on a boxing clinic. Like it showed like how powerful a jab can be because Koscheck couldn't do shit without catching a jab. Like, and he did it so much that he fucked up Koscheck's orbital bone, crushed part of his face, and he's still not healed from it. Like he always has that. That's a permanent fucking injury that he still feels, and he says like he'll never forget George. Basically, it's like
you're
fucking
not
scared to the point where like he had to get. I'm pretty sure he had to get like a sports psychologist and everything to kind of get back into boxing and everything again, and not be afraid of that fucking spot in his head. Like there was like when Anderson Silva fucking broke his leg with the kick.
Mm-hmm.
He had to do the same thing. Like a lot of guys have to go to these psychologists to get back to the not being afraid to throw it.
That's the thing. You're gonna favor it. You're not gonna want to throw that kick because look what happened last time.
Exactly.
Basically,
and that takes a lot to get over, man. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, UFC.
Fucking UFC.
Still good, and only getting better, I think, because I always said what UFC has over boxing is that, well, it's somewhat regulated, and they make the best fight the best all the time. Like, they don't take a guy and feed him chumps for fucking years to build up his streak so that they can coax someone else to put a belt on the line so that, you know, they can get a fucking big money event to happen. Because really, boxing's more about money than anything.
Oh, God, yes. Boxing, for sure.
Well, and you're talking about, like, old Money Mayweather, who fucking is, like, a pretty good statement on the state of boxing. Because, like, he has his own production company. And his production company controls all his fights. So, not only is he getting the purse for the fight win, he's also controlling the entire broadcast. And, like, that's his money, too, right? Like, I don't know if you've seen about the Pacquiao thing, when they actually did take the fight, all the stipulations that came with it.
No.
Pacquiao had to he had to sleep he had to stay in the bottom of the hotel. He couldn't train or something like that. There was a bunch of, like, bullshit that, like, he had to deal with before he was allowed to fight Mayweather. Like, Mayweather stacked the deck, basically, in every way possible against him.
He had to sleep in the basement. He wasn't allowed to train. What else?
I'm trying to remember. You can look at it. I can't remember all of it now, but there was a bunch of things as stipulations for the pre-fight, and they were disgusting. Like,
it's like we're not allowed. You're not allowed to eat. You don't get water.
It was some stupid shit.
You
like
sleep
that.
on the floor.
Right? Stupid.
We're gonna stick you in the furnace room.
Basically, like.
Wow.
And yeah, UFC is not like that, thankfully, because if it was, man, I don't know if it could last like it is. I don't know.
I was actually afraid it was going to.
Yeah,
once
it went to Fox.
Because when we started watching it, like at the beginning, it was just savage.
Mm.
But then over time, it's just got more and more regulations and rules and stipulations, and everything had to be this way or that way. And I was just like, oh, this is just going to fucking go right south from here.
It still has fucked up rules, like.
But it's still.
It's okay, but it's again, boxing was fucking it up because boxing commission is what regulates it. Like, that's who they answer to. So, like, there's a couple of rules that are in UFC that don't actually make sense, but it's coming from this weird logic from the boxing commission. Like, the 12-6 elbow being illegal is like there's almost next to no reason for that.
Ah.
Right. And I can't even remember why it actually happened. Like, I was listening to something, there was a story about the point where they decided that should be illegal. And it was a real, like, stupid fucking decision. Didn't actually add up in your head. Like, and I think the hands down thing is another weird one. Like, you can't strike to the head if they have
If they have their...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you compare that to Pride. Like when Pride was going on, and people would just get soccer kicked in the face or stomped in the head. Like, Shogun Rua, like, he won a lot of fights by just, like, fucking someone in the face, like, while they're on the ground. I mean, to somewhat extent, you can kind of see that, you know, taking away kicks to the head. But what I always found funny is that an up kick is okay, and I could imagine that could be pretty goddamn brutal.
Yeah.
Right? Like, imagine, you know, just fucking boom, kick up to someone's head like that.
Oh, like, who used to do that all the time? Fucking Silva.
Yeah.
Get on his back, kick.
Yeah. And they can fuck you up, man.
I would never want to walk into someone and get a boot to the face. I don't care who it is.
No. But yeah, it'd be interesting now to see how it evolves. I hope it doesn't get corrupted and get fucked up. Because actually, talking about Pride,
if it does, someone will end up making something else to go back, I think.
Yeah, probably. That's a good point. Because maybe that'd be when Bellator really starts to shine.
Yeah, it would be. It's like, okay, well, if UFC's going to cut out all these things, Bellator's going to be like, all right, well, we're keeping them, and people are going to watch that because they want to see that.
Yeah,
they don't want to see the restrictions. They want to see a fucking fight. Like,
yeah, and it's such a big part of the world now. Like, it's become such a thing, and it's kind of amazing to me to see. Like, I remember watching it when nobody gave a fuck.
Oh God, yes.
You know, and now it's this fucking. It's bigger than like, fucking baseball and like shit like that. It's on that level of the sport. Yeah, it'd be funny because there'll be generations like our kids will be they'll know UFC like we knew NFL and MLB and everything, right? But we'll be able to say like, yeah, remember when this was like no rules, fucking sponsored by like a chicken wing shack and like.
Just the fact that all you have to say is that UFC used to be a tournament.
Yeah,
and that's just
crazy. And no weight class.
That in itself, like no weight class, and it was a tournament. You fought till you got to the top. Like,
yep, and you think about it. Royce Gracie, not a big guy. No. Won the first one. The first guy he beat, chemo.
Was it a sumo or something?
No, that's Akibono. He fought him later. But the first guy he beat on the way to winning UFC 1 was Chemo Leopoldo. I believe there was about a 50-pound weight advantage.
Jesus.
He was a big fucking guy. But it was at the time when no one understood jiu-jitsu. So people were fucking putting themselves in the positions to just be choked.
That he's going to be like, all right.
Yeah.
Next.
But now it's so much different. Like, everyone knows everything.
Well, that's the thing. Like, everybody is trying to learn how to defend against everything.
Yeah.
Before, it was just like, well, I'm a boxer. He's a kickboxer. Stay away from his feet.
Yep.
It's not that simple.
And even weirder shit. People were coming in like karate masters and stuff that like got proven to not be useful. And that's what I think was the most important part. And something that Bruce Lee started with his Jeet Kune Do style. Like, Jeet Kune Do's fucking theory is basically MMA. It's use what's effective, right? Don't fuck with bullshit like katas and all this like flashy garbage. Like, do stuff that works, and the stuff that's working is boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo. Now, fucking Rousey showed how fucking powerful that can be, and I think you're gonna see other aspects creep in. Even there is still some karate, like fucking Machida. Lyoto Machida. His striking style is very like. He does this like quick darting fucking actions that fucks a lot of people up, and it comes from this like karate background. So I'm more interested to see guys mix more stuff like that, and you're seeing techniques grow and stuff get invented. Like John Jones is super inventive.
And that's the thing. I mean, like as soon as UFC came out, like all you see is just evolution of fighting. Like,
yeah.
Not just like, oh, they're using different styles. It's just, no, they're taking these two styles and now they have something new. Which,
again, is what it has over boxing. Because boxing is very, kind of stuck. There's you're never going to elbow anyone. You can't even, I don't know if pretty sure back fist is not a legal strike in regular, like, boxing. Like, that's a Muay Thai thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, no strikes to the back of the head is universal because of potential spinal damage.
Mm-hmm.
But, dirty boxing is a thing in UFC. Like, that's a strategy. And stuff that you can't do in boxing. You can't headbutt. You can't strike to the kidney. You're not supposed to, right? But all that's legit. And it'll fucking work, man. Like, that's like, I still think Bas Rutten is one of the most brilliant MMA fighters in history because he comes up with what seems so simple, and he just like thinks about the basic mechanics of everything and just like, yeah, this is what he'll do, and fucking take him out.
Does he fight at all now, or is he just
not now? I think he
doing some coaches. I know he does acting.
Oh yeah,
from time to time too.
Well, he does a lot of commentary, and he does still does coaching and works with fighters. Like he trains a lot of dudes because he still shows them fucked up techniques. Like he was talking about a thing the other day, the clothesline, like saying the clothesline is a super effective punch, a strike that no one actually uses.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, just strike with like the side of your right there. He said because
it's like getting hit with a baseball bat. He said, and he was showing him like on the heavy bag. He's like, this is what I can do with a punch. He said, but you think about if I do, unload everything into this big strike, which you can load up on like crazy. He said, even if they block it, it doesn't matter. Like,
it's a fucking heavy hit.
yeah, like you can block this all day. It's like anyone who's a striker knows that like blocking doesn't actually stop everything. Like all that concussive force travels through your hand, right, and goes into your head. So you can knock people out with this regardless. And it's stuff no one does, right? But because everyone gets so, like, you train boxing, you train to do your good technique, your good form, get proper, get your combos together. So they're not going to all of a sudden throw a clothesline in. Like, because it's not part of, what they're trained to do. But that's why John Jones is so cool, because he comes up with shit all the time. He does stuff no one's ever done. Like, I'll never forget, I think it was when he fought Rashad. It's the only time I've ever seen someone do it, where, you know how they kind of, like, reach out and kind of lock up a little? Well, what he was doing is he'd reach out and grab Rashad's hand or his wrist, and then just come right over it with an elbow. Like, just hold his arm and come over it while holding it.
Oh.
And it was just fucking nail him every time. He couldn't do anything about it because he's literally shutting down the defense and coming over top. Like, super effective.
Well, closing the distance. I mean, you're trying to do this. And he's grabbing you and almost pulling you in, but pulling his elbow to your face.
And not to mention that an elbow is fucking devastating. Let alone John Jones' bony arms fucking slicing you up. And it's funny, John Jones' only loss is because of a DQ for 12-6 elbows.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only loss he had?
Pretty sure. Only in UFC, and it was against Matt Hamill. He beat the fuck out of him. Like, messed him up hardcore. But lost because he had him on the ground fucking 12-6 right in his face.
Oh, Jesus. Stupid rule.
This is a dumb rule. So yeah, I guess that's episode 38 for tonight.
Episode 38.
Catch us on Twitter,
Facebook.
@hero_mode, and catch us on Facebook, facebook.com, whatever hero mode. I can't remember how it goes.
Hero Mode on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe.
iTunes, subscribe. Actually, something I want to talk about a bit. I've been looking into Snapchat. Because,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I didn't really know much about that fucking thing. And I'm starting to see, like, how it's actually applicable to, spreading and marketing and stuff. I'm only learning about it now, really. Because I always thought Snapchat was just this half-sketchy fucking app. Like, because all I knew about it was it sends messages that don't get saved.
Yeah, actually, I heard of it from someone at work actually a couple of years ago, and he was always sending pictures and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, you gotta look at this." I'm like, "Hold on." He's like, "No." He's like, "It doesn't save." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's
It'll
like,
be gone soon.
He's like, "It only you send it, and once it's like viewed or whatever, then it has a time limit and it's gone."
Yep.
I'm like, "What? What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, I couldn't understand, and really couldn't understand how you would actually use it to promote anything, right? Because how would you when everything gets erased?
Yeah.
But I was looking at some stuff, and there's ways to do it, and it's kind of interesting. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I almost want to do like planned shows that are Snapchat shows. That like
really,
yeah, it'd be, even though it's gonna be gone. That's why it's interesting. Like, but now it has a lot to do because we need to get people onto it first, right? We need to get it out to the point where people would even be interested to try and catch it. But I think there's something to like limited content, like stuff that you're not gonna get a chance to catch later. You've got to get on it. And that's what I'm... like. Because right now, I was reading statistic, it is the number 3 top social network. It goes Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
Really? Jesus, I actually never thought it would have been that fucking popular.
Exactly. But this is why I'm getting interested in it now, to try and understand it.
That's the thing. Like I said, I haven't heard about it in years. Like it's just one day. He's like, "Oh, look at this picture." I'm like, "No, hold on." He's like, "No, it's going to disappear." I'm like, "What the fuck kind of app is that? Like, why would you want that?"
Yeah, it seems so odd, like counterintuitive. I thought it was for people fucking wanting to cheat. Like, basically, like people were fucking like,
"Send me your answer." All right, cool, gone.
Exactly, right? Very discreet messaging. But no, it's more like a fucking crazy thing. But we'll talk more about that offline. So yeah. Episode 38.
Out.
Laters.